foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shabbat, Hashem, Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the listeners, the believers that have came back to the obedience of the truth, all right, through this word, man. Okay, the obedience of the scripture through this word. Now, what I want to get into, is going into how, the truth, has made, all right, us wise. The truth has made the simple wise. Okay, as the scriptures say, subtlety to the simple. What you're gonna start, with that precept in the book of Proverbs, the first chapter. His spirit had me doing a little reading, in Proverbs. All right. Now I started at one, and just read, all right, to about verse 6, and expound on a few things, within these scriptures, these precepts. This is Proverbs 1 and 1. It says the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom, instructions, to perceive the words of understanding. All right, and you read this in the NLT, it says their purpose, speaking of these proverbs, is to teach people wisdom and discipline to help them understand the insights of the wise. And this wisdom, when you go into the scriptures, all right, the Bible, it's just packed full of, it's a treasure. The Bible itself is a treasure. It's just packed full of these stones and these gems of wisdom that help real time. That's the beautiful thing about the Bible, you know, which I got to engage more into books like Proverbs and Sirach, because it just gives you so much wisdom, okay, that helps right now. Like people look at the Bible, Esau pushes as if the Bible is outdated. You have this term called biblical times. Well, there's no such thing as biblical times. This is a book of eternal wisdom. Matter of fact, let's prove that. All right. There's a cut on anyone that says biblical times when you go to this precept here in the book, all right, or Baruch. Okay. People say, oh, that was biblical times. And people think that this way of living, is progress past, biblical standards, but it's really a digress. You look at this society has digressed. That's why you see violence, chaos, and dysfunction. Okay? Because this standard of living under this beast system, everyone has digressed, man. Okay? So let's get the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. It said, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. And it's beyond the 613 laws. This book is full of so much wisdom, and Jake, like to try to, pretty much, all right, boast in the law, speaking of the 613, what is known as the Mosaic Law. Jake got shirts with the 613, but there's wisdom beyond the 613. The law is wisdom. It's the foundation of wisdom. Okay? It's pretty much the manual of how to run a society in righteousness. Okay? And then there's wisdom, beyond it. Okay? So this Bible is full of precepts, because you go into, the word precept, it goes into a commandment. Okay? So this Bible is full of precepts and commandments and instructions when it comes to living in righteousness, man. Okay? It said, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. So the scriptures say this is the law that endureth forever. Okay? And it goes into this whole book. All right? As Yahweh Shai said in the book of Matthew, all right, I believe it's 24 and all right. It's the book of Matthew 24 and 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away. And it's speaking of heaven, it's speaking of this rulership. Esau, he's in his heaven. He's in his age of rulership. This is his heaven, but it's going to pass away. The condition of the earth under this man's rulership is going to pass away. All right, the earth is going to be refreshed. Okay, so this rulership and the condition of this current earth is going to pass away. Okay, but my words shall not pass away, because the earth is going to be ran by this word. Okay, this wisdom. Okay, and the Lord has gave us insight, all right, on the wisdom that's going to run the world to come. You know, how blessed are we? Okay, so going back into it, all right, when you go to Proverbs 1, okay, and 2, reading NLT, it says their purpose, going to these Proverbs, to teach people wisdom and discipline to help them understand the insights of the wise. Okay, verse 3 in the NLT, their purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives, to help them do what is right, just, and fair. And success isn't just measured, by your resources, man. Okay? Success in the scriptures, when you go into true wisdom, is measuring integrity, honesty, you know, all right, discipline. Okay? When you really go into success, when prosperity is beyond, you know, resources, you know, monetary wealth. Okay? That's why scripture say a good name, okay, a name of righteousness is better than, you know, precious oil. Okay? Because a good name comes from what? Integrity, man. Okay? From righteousness, fairness, what they call equity, man, virtue, which is, elite, moral righteousness when you go into it. Okay? So this is what this truth is teaching us. Like I always, the Spirit always had me say that this truth is teaching us how to live. It's good to know, history. You go into current events and geopolitics that's needed, for the circumstances that we're in, because we're watchmen. Okay, but there's also another, dynamic to this truth, which is learning how to live day to day in righteousness, man. To the best of our ability. And that's a part of this ministry as well. And it says, verse 4, it says, I read this in the KJV. All right. It says, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Because before we came into the truth, man, we was extremely simple. Okay? We was simple. The way we thought, the way we live, our decision making, it was simple. Okay? You look at it, the black culture is a culture of simplicity, and it's getting worse. Okay? Black culture is getting more and more simple. Okay? Niggas dying over colors. All right? You got 1, 2 niggas that's, selling all this dope, destroying families, and bringing, increasing the violence, increasing death. Okay? Breaking up families. But he's a hero. How simple is that, man? And we was caught up in that simplicity. We idolize them niggas, man. Okay? The brokest people spend the most money to try to prove that they're not broke. That's how simple were we, man. Okay? How simple was we, man? Okay? And you can go on, and on about the simplicity of the culture that, the Lord brought us out of, and we still have simple moments. All right, but it's diminishing, and wisdom is increasing, and it says a wise man will hear and will increase learning. Okay, and it says a wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. Okay, so every day, we have, and that's one of the things, like, we have the privilege to steady increase in this wisdom, man. And then, like I say, this wisdom, is making us, like I say, subtle, because you gotta understand the wisdom covers all ages. Okay, wisdom there was a certain wisdom, that was applied when we was in rulership. Okay, there was certain wisdom, that was applied. Okay, even in our captivity. Okay, even in different ages of our captivity, there's, hey, this book covers all ages, man. So in this time when the scriptures say giving subtlety, you know, to the simple, even on another level as we come into the truth. Because when we first come into the truth, we have this zeal, and we do simple things. We destroy relationships. Okay, we might destroy, financial situations. Okay, that didn't have to be destroyed, but it's all, a learning. You got to go through that. So we, teach on our experiences, and we, learn from experiences from other brothers on how to be, to avoid, making the same mistake. Okay, that's the great thing about having, nationwide wisdom. The whole nation can benefit off one person mistakes. That's the thing of functioning and moving as a unit. Okay, one person can bring a testimony, and the whole okay nation can learn from it, man. Okay, and move better. You see, but when you go here, all right, going into our wisdom cover all ages. That's why you go to the book of Matthew, chapter 10. All right, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Okay, so within this time that we in now, we have to be wise as serpents. We have to be subtle. You know, you have to, a serpent, knows how to camouflage. A serpent, you know, like you can be amongst a serpent and not know it. Okay, because most of the time, when you don't see snakes that much, you don't see serpents. Okay, the serpent is not just hanging out. It's not a flamboyant animal. It's not just out and about. Okay, so you go into the characteristics of that, man. A serpent, very calculated. you know, So Yahweh Shah was telling us to be wise as a serpent, in the condition that we're in, we're behind enemy lines. Even you at the restaurant, you learn how to, say you don't eat pork without offending people. You might be at a work gathering, you learn to say, learn how to move without being so offensive. Now we can't stop people from being offended. Offenses must come. Okay, but this wisdom teaches us how to minimize things, man. Avoid things that's unnecessary offenses, man. They can put us in unnecessary scrapes, and so forth and so on. It's a whole another lesson within itself, but just to drive home the point that hey, this wisdom, is making subtle and simple. Okay, we dealing with women, hey, this is making us subtle, man. Okay, because hey, we all went through those simple phases, for the most part, dealing with women. But now this wisdom got us on the level, man, so we know how to deal. Like this wisdom really has us outside, of the matrix. To whether we should always have the ups when it comes to wisdom in situations, man. Okay, so let's go back to Proverbs 1. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1. All right. And it says, a wise man will hear. I'll read this in NLT, Proverbs 1 and 5. It says, let the wise listen to these proverbs and become even wiser. Let those with understanding receive guidance. Okay? Because as we, because some brothers, come out of the world and they, have, they have expertise in certain things. But now, as we come into the truth, man, we have these things on a whole nother level. You might have a brother that was into the economy before he came into the truth. Now, he has a whole nother perspective when it comes to the economy. You might have a brother that was into the history before he came into the truth. Now he has a whole nother perspective on history, man. All right, on a high level, you know, a brother that was, that was already, into the holistic living. Okay, now he has a heightened, wisdom. Okay, when it comes to these things now, you know, and because at the end of the day, this wisdom is supposed to enhance our situations, man. Okay, of course, you're gonna have your vexations and your trials, and the Lord gonna put you through afflictions. Okay, well, that's necessary as well. But even in the affliction is meant for us to, affliction is meant to test the wisdom that we're learning, you know, because you go through periods of learning and, taking in, and then you eventually got to put it to the test, you know. So affliction is pretty much a test, you know, to see where we at, okay? And that's why you can, review how we can review how we reacted. Adjustment needs to be made, like studying film. When you run back in your head how we, how we can run back in our head how we handle the situation. And it's like studying film, you know, and seeing, okay, yeah, I was tripping, I was pouting, you know, I couldn't handle it. I could have reacted, I got angry too quick, got frustrated too quick, you know, and then you regroup for the next one, man. All right, and it says to understand a proverb. Proverbs 1:6 says to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings, man. Okay, because this book has a lot of hidden knowledge. Okay, and it's only given, to, all right, a remnant, all right, of Israelites, man. And that's why, we just should be humble that we have this understanding is enough to suffice us, until we get out of here, man. Okay? That's why we go here. You don't want to get carried away. And another thing, as we get this wisdom, we have to couple it with humility. That's why you go here to the book of Sirach, third chapter, Sirach 3 and 24. All right. No, it's like verse 17. Okay. Because one thing about wisdom, it puff it up. So wisdom teaches us to couple, as we increase in understanding, to couple it with humility to balance it out, you know. And we'll go in here, close it out. So Rock 3 and 17, it says, my son, go on with our business and meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. So we should handle all business and meekness, man. There shouldn't be a boasting in anything that we do, man. Okay? We should always move in a level, of meekness. Like that's a characteristic that has to be added to us in this walk is meekness, man. Cause going back to, we come from a culture where it's all about boasting. Okay, that main character syndrome. Look what I did. Okay, but there's wisdom teaches us meekness, man. It's all, nothing is possible without you. How about Shema Shai? We're just doing what he's allowing us to do. If we're prospering in something, we're just prospering in what he's allowing us to prosper in, man. Having that meaning, knowing the Lord can shut this shit down when he get ready. Okay? He can shut our ass down, man. Verse 18 says, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So as we increase in this understanding, man, as we increase, man, in this truth and this faith, we have to increase in humility as well, man. It go together. Okay, you can't just have one without the other. You gotta, because if you increase in wisdom without humility, you then pride. That's what pride. You leave room for pride. Because there's a lot of men. All right, as we see, they can go into precepts and go into, geopolitics and go into histories and, go into words and, you know, uh, when they open the Bible, the Bible just floating. No one's touching it. The turn pages turning by themselves. Okay, you can do all these things. Okay, but if you don't add humility in the mix in that, then pride, all right, pride feels they void. So that's why it's a wise thing to add humility, to the wisdom. That's wisdom in itself. Okay, it says many are in high places and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. Okay, so even though you have guys that have all this knowledge, okay, even humility is a mystery to them. You see, they can have all this so-called deep understanding, but if they let humility slip by, if we let humility slip by, because we all subjugated to it. That's why I gotta pray to stay humble. Pray for more humility, man. All right, and when you pray for that, hey, hey, it can be some action behind it. The Lord to do something to cause humility if we, get beside ourselves, man. But but these guys that have all this so-called knowledge and wisdom, and understanding, but then they miss humility. Well, humility is a mystery to them, and they're missing it. The mystery doesn't just mean that, it's some deep revelation, new, you know, some new 2024 revelation. You the first one on the block with it. When you think of a mystery, well, mystery is in the simple things, man. Okay, and humility, man. Okay, meekness. All right, and it says, "For the power of the Lord is great, and He is honored of the lowly, man." Because we have to be lowly because the glory is the Lord's. Because if we're not lowly, what do? You see men giving glory to themselves. There's no room to give glory to the Lord because they so full of themselves, like you had it saying in the word, you full of yourself. So you can be so um full of yourself. Okay, we can be so full of ourselves that there's no room to give the Lord the glory. Nah, man, He's dealing with the lowly. Okay, because that leaves room for His glory, man, which He's well deserving. And it says, verse 21, seek out not things that are too hard for thee, neither search out things that are above thy strength. Okay? Because one thing about a gift, when it comes to this ministry, a gift is something that's convenient for you to do. It's come easy for you. Okay? Each brother got different gifts. A lot of brothers got similar gifts. Some brothers got multiple gifts. But at the end of the day, okay, we shouldn't try to search out anything that's above us, man. If you can't, like I think Elder Malcolm said it, he said it a few times. If you can't explain it with 3 or 4 precepts, don't go into it. If you didn't hear the apostles and elders bring it out, like don't it ain't no glory in just trying to be so deep. It's vain glory. Stick to, all right, what's been given us, man. And with each brother, what's been given our portion. Stick to that. One thing about it, you excel when you stay in your lane. When you stay in your lane, there's nothing but room to grow. Okay, we get out of our lane and try to do too much, man, it's gonna be a crash. Okay, guaranteed. And it says, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and evil suspicion had overthrown their judgment." Okay, so it's like verse 23. This is the point I skipped over. It says, "Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand." So we already have this high level of wisdom, man. We already, and it is teaching us how to live. Is useful for day-to-day use. Ain't no sense of trying to go into, okay, all the protons, the neutrons, trying to get into these things, you know, try to just learn all these unnecessary things that doesn't serve us right now. We should be engulfed in the wisdom that's serving us, man. Cause in the kingdom we're gonna be open up to everything, man. You know, but the focal point right now is being in tune with the wisdom that serves us right now, man. You know, in our day to day. Okay? So that was the point. You know, Lord will you brothers. All right, and you know, you sisters edified to the next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala. Bob will ball soon.